to this episode of Our College Your Voices. I'm your host, Kara Monroe. Ivy Parents Achieve Success with Support, also known as I.PASS, is a free Ivy Tech 8-week virtual course being offered to single parents, predominantly single moms. This course is designed to help students gain tools such as note-taking techniques, how to get aligned with the workforce, recognizing their strengths and career options, financial literacy, and networking. The course is currently a pilot at 4 of our campuses: Lafayette, Indianapolis, Muncie, and Sellersburg. And we are hopeful the program's design will help our single parent learners be successful and will expand to more campuses if that is the case. I'm excited to have Dr. Mia Johnson with me today to talk a little bit more about this program. Hi, Mia. Welcome back.
Thank you, Dr. Monroe. It's nice to be here.
And would you please remind us what it is that you do for the college and why you're involved with this program?
My full-time job is chancellor for the Anderson campus of Ivy Tech Community College. And I am the statewide lead, the kind of point person on this I.PASS project. I've been involved from, I think, the beginning. So somewhere a statistic came up that said only 8% of single parents earn their degree within 6 years. And once folks heard that, like, it's hard to let it go and not think about it and not try to do something about it. So President Ellspermann kind of convened a group of Ivy Tech faculty and staff, community members, to try to see what can we do to address this. And so that's how it started. And then from that, working through possible solutions, someone, I believe it was Corey Klossman, found a grant that was being offered to community colleges to kind of address this issue. Like, how do we help our single parent learners be successful? So Ivy Tech applied for the grant and we were awarded $50,000 to help come up with ideas, again, to address the success rate or lack thereof of our single parent learners.
Mia, you talked a little bit about that statistic that Dr. Ellspermann and so many of us sort of keyed in on. What is some of the other data that we've seen as we've launched the program here at Ivy Tech?
So the 8% that we talked about, 8% of single mom learners graduate within 6 years with their associates or bachelor's. That's compared to 49% of women in college who are not mothers. So that's a lot. One of the other stats that kind of caught us was a single mother in Indiana with an associate's degree is 36% less likely to live in poverty, earns over $224,000 more in their lifetime, saves Indiana $22,000 in public assistance, and contributes $45,000 more in their lifetime in taxes than if they just had a high school diploma. So for folks who aren't single parents, or why should we be concerned about this? What's the big deal? This kind of benefits everyone, benefits the entire community and the economy.
I described the I.PASS course, which is one of a couple of different models we're doing, but it's the one that's really sort of moving ahead at this point. Yes. I described it a little bit in the intro. Can you tell us a little bit more about what I.PASS is?
Okay. So I.PASS is an overall program that has 3 kind of pilot activities. We call them programs. So the first one is what you talked about, the IBYT course that's targeted for single parent learners, particularly single mothers. Also, what we want to be part of that is it forms a cohort of the learners. So when we did listening tours with our single parent learners, one of the things we heard was lack of support and them feeling like they were alone, although we knew we had so many single parent learners. Another part of that same program would be, and something we're still working on, access to childcare funds. So like CCDF, statewide funds to help assist moms and parents pay for their childcare. The second part of the program is a weekly study hall. So once COVID, allows things to be safe for us again to meet in person, the plan is to have a weekly study hall with our single parent mothers, single parent learners, and their kids are welcome. So while mom is working on homework, the kid is working on their homework too, with tutoring. And the good part about this is there will be dinner provided. So you don't have to worry about doing your homework, helping your child with their homework, and then rush home and figure out dinner. And then the last part is Learn Anywhere. So Learn Anywhere model that we're currently using statewide throughout the college came out of this single mothers group. So thinking about times when your child was sick and you couldn't make it to class, or when your child's spring break didn't match up with Ivy Tech spring break and you were going to have to miss class. So what could we do? So another colleague, another vice chancellor suggested this model where if you need to stay home and attend via Zoom one week, you can do that. If you need to be online one week, you can do that, or you can attend face-to-face. And the beauty of it is you can change this week by week if you want to. You don't have to notify anybody. You just log in, you show up, or you just complete your work. And so that's really good for single parent learners because we know things happen with kids. And once we had to go virtual because of COVID and we started coming back into the building, in order to make things, make folks feel comfortable with whatever method, we started using a lot more Learn Anywhere. So folks who were ready to come in and felt comfortable doing that were able to do so. If you wanted to stay home for a little while longer and do Zoom, you can do that. If you wanted to attend completely online but have access to recordings, you could do that. So Learn Anywhere is up and moving. The IVYT is up and moving. We're waiting for the study hall to come on.
And that study hall idea is one we got from our colleagues at Central New Mexico Community College. So we were excited to see that and incorporate that into this program. I said in the intro, Lafayette, Indianapolis, Muncie, and Sellersburg are the 4 campuses offering this program. Why those 4 and what do we need to expand to more?
I think the reason for those 4 are we had to choose a few, and it's always better to start something small so that we can work out some of the kinks before we take it statewide. We're a big system with 18, soon to be 19 campuses. Start with 4 of different sizes and figure out where the kinks are. We looked at which campuses had the resources, had the folks who could help with the project. And so that's why we started with those 4. It is our goal to take this statewide as soon as possible. Again, we're just trying to figure out the best way to move forward and make sure we're able to effectively help our students, because of course we don't ever want to be a hindrance. So soon.
Good. What if I'm a single parent learner, or maybe I'm a faculty or staff member and I'm not at one of the pilot campuses, but I want to get involved? Are there ways I could get involved?
Definitely. You can always reach out to me and I'll help you get involved. Each campus, each of the pilot campuses has a lead on this, a campus lead, and they're willing to help with any information, things like that. Right now is the perfect time because one of the classes is being offered Learn Anywhere, so students could attend from anywhere. Faculty could be from anywhere. And the other one is virtual. So this is a good opportunity for students statewide to be involved, at least in the IVYT course. And I kind of want to, raise the excitement, get folks excited about what we're trying to do to help these students.
Absolutely. So we've used a lot of different words. We've talked about single parents, single moms, single caregivers. Who is actually eligible to participate?
Anyone is eligible to participate. So we are saying single moms more often because that is what our grant is looking at. That is what the grant is measuring, the success of single mothers. However, when we first started looking at this, Ivy Tech as a college, we were looking at single parent learners, single caregivers. If you are single and taking care of someone, you are eligible. We will not turn you away from this program because you're not a mom, because you're a grandparent, because you're a single foster parent, whatever it looks like for you and your family. If you need support from the college, we'll provide it.
We've talked about the fact that this is a grant-funded project right now. What happens when the grant ends?
I will say, I think I can speak for Dr. Elsperman and say that she is committed to continuing this once the grant ends. $50,000 sounds like a lot of money, but once we divide that up 4 ways and then try to scale it, it's not that much. So she has been committed to finding ways to make this work after the grant ends. So finding resources, working with our local foundation departments, our community partners. The community loves this. And so we're getting offers every day to offer help to help our students be successful because we know it helps the community. So it will keep going.
And we talked about this just a little bit, but let's make sure we're really clear on that. If I am a student at Ivy Tech and I want to get involved in I.PASS, how do I do that?
Right now, the easiest way would probably be to do your local ask address. So like ask Muncie, ask Lafayette, ask Sellersburg, ask Indianapolis at ivytech.edu. Those are the best ways to get to the right person. And the folks answering those emails know about the program. They know how to help you. Someone will reach out and get you on track and figure out, do you need the IVYT class? Maybe you've already taken IVYT class, but you want to be a part of I.PASS and the things coming up in the future. The lead at the campus will get back to you and help you.
Well, Mia, thanks so much for joining me today. As our regular guests know, every episode ends with a call to action. So if you know a current single parent student who would benefit from participating in I.PASS, or if you know a single parent wanting to come to school or return to school, send them to ask and then the campus name. So those campuses again are Ask Lafayette, Ask Indianapolis, Ask Muncie, or Ask Sellersburg at ivtech.edu. We will provide the direct email addresses in the show notes if you want to see those. So you'll be able to see those there. I want to thank everybody again for listening to this episode of Our College of Voices. And again, I want to thank Dr. Mia Johnson, Chancellor at Anderson and statewide lead for I.PASS. I'm your host, Kara Monroe. You can connect with me on Twitter at KNM Tweets. Our producer is Sarah Ferguson. You can reach us by email at ourcollegeofvoices@ivtech.edu. Don't forget, if you're an Ivy Tech faculty or staff member, you can join our Microsoft Teams listener community. Instructions on that come out every Thursday. Our website, where you'll find links to our show notes, is ivtech.edu/podcast. Production assistance for this and every episode provided by Becky Campbell and the Ivy Tech Community College Creative Services team. Podcast concept is by Matthew Pittman. The music and post-production services provided by Jen Eads at the Brassi Broadcasting Company, and we will talk to you next time on Our College, Your Voices.